we just had the bloodiest month in August, and now the news is actually starting to come out and tell us, like, yo, August has been really, really bad. Let's hope September is not going to be as bad as August, but let's see what CNBC said about these crazy layoffs. Layoffs jump in August while hiring in 2024 is at a historic low, Challenger report shows. Okay, layoffs started in August, hitting their highest total for the month in 15 years. Yeah, I predicted that. I said that we are about to hit the 15-year high. Not the 15-year high, but we're going to hit the all-time high in August. While year-to-date hiring hit its lowest in 19 years. So it is really, really bad right now. And let's see what else they said. The report showed that the biggest growth in planned layoffs comes from technology field, with companies announcing 41,829 cuts in the past 20 months. So this is just these companies that need to report all these layoffs. Different states have different requirements. So if you do it stagnant, or if your company doesn't have like 2,000 people or 100 people, then you have to file with the state. Some notices, some do, some are bigger than others, some don't. It depends on your state. And what is forcing this people to do? So if you're getting laid off, if you're getting in any kind of positions like that, there's only one or two options you can do: find another job, or actually, if you're working and you can't make ends meet, you gotta find another job. So what are people doing? They can't make ends meet. So what do? They get a second job, because there's no way that you can pay for $100 grocery basket at Trader Joe's. It's just ridiculous. So what are common Americans doing? Well, more than a third of Americans have second jobs. It's been tough for sure. So more than a third of Americans actually have second jobs to make ends meet, and it is absolutely brutal. Here we go. It has been rough for a couple of years with two jobs. He said, my sleep schedule is all over the place. I'm lucky if I get 3 to 4 decent sleep hours a night. Oh man, because they stress and all this other crazy stuff. So let's see about personal debt. Personal debt, high cost of living, and raising two active boys led Kalish to find another gig. He's among 36% who rely on second jobs or side hustle to make ends meet, according to the survey last month. It is absolutely crazy that people that work 40 hours a week cannot make enough money to pay for their kids, cannot pay enough to keep their lifestyle going. So, what do? They need to get a second job. How crazy is that? And he's actually a full-time USPS worker, and they make a pretty decent amount of money. It's not like they're working at an entry-level position at Taco Bell where they're just getting in. No, these are full-time gigs working 40 hours a week. And to make it even worse, let's look at the age demographic that all these people are actually having side hustle. So roughly 48% of reported aged 18 to 27-year olds reported having side hustle, the highest of any age bracket, followed by millennials 44%, Gen X 33%, and baby boomers 23%. So it is absolutely crazy that young adults are actually already working side hustles because they cannot make ends meet. If you do a side hustle just because you want to do it, you love it, and you're trying to make that your full-time position, let me know in the comments below. But doing all these crazy, crazy extracurricular activities above work to make ends meet just to pay the bills is absolutely crazy, and we need to change that. How are we going to change that? Well, in September, the Fed is going to decrease interest rates. So there has been a study out that shows it, and they just released a booklet, and let's watch exactly what the Fed has been doing.
So the Federal Reserve just released the Beige Book ahead of the next meeting. For those who don't know, the Fed Beige Book is an economic report released by the Fed roughly 2 weeks before each meeting. In this book, the 12 Fed districts gather a wide range of data to understand how the economy is doing. More specifically, they look at the labor market on one side and price fluctuation on the other and compare the change since the previous Beige Book. The overall economic activity grew slightly in 3 districts, while the 9 others reported a flat or declining economic activity. This is more than the 5 districts in the previous report. From the job market standpoint, the Beige Book is reporting that employment has stayed flat to slightly up in the recent week. Wages rose at a modest pace. Prices increased slightly since the previous Beige Book, but looking ahead, businesses are expecting prices to stabilize or ease in the coming months. The bottom line is, the economy didn't change much compared to the previous report, but businesses think it will stay the same or get a little better. The market is now pricing 1 or 2 rate cuts for the September 18th meeting with nearly a 50-50% chance, and they are still betting on 4 by December.
Well, it's not looking very, very good. When you're looking at all these companies that are laying people off, you're looking at for sale signs everywhere or for rent signs in shopping malls. And you know that people aren't buying coffees, they're not going out to eat, they're not going on travel because they just can't afford it. And to top it all off, grocery stores actually came out and said that they are price gouging people. So, as we know about the price gouging, so Kroger, one of the largest grocery store chains in the US, admitted to price gouging during the Federal Trade Commission investigation that they had raised the prices on staples like milk, eggs, and beyond inflation levels. The information came to light during a legal case revealed to Kroger's potential acquisition of Albertsons, another major retail chain. So now we're starting to get to know what was going on during COVID. And we now know that 12 eggs should not cost $13. But hey, these grocery stores have been price gouging everybody. And when you're so into price gouging and everybody raises their prices, then you as a small business also need to raise prices because all the goods go up. And when these big players do it, so do you. But now we're starting to see pullback in every aspect of the market. People just don't have the money, especially when credit card is at all-time highs, savings at all-time lows. We're seeing that it is really, really, really bad when all these Americans that are actually consumers are pulling back. That means the consumer economy is pretty much tapped out, and we cannot keep going at the same rate as we have to. So you got to make sure that you're not spending this money that you're getting super unwisely and just throwing it out the window with buying 12 eggs for $19 or whatever it was during COVID when these crazy prices. Talking about all these layoffs, all these unemployment. Let's see, for the week end of August of 31st, jobless claim totaled 227,000, a slight increase from the previous period. Absolutely crazy. So let's see what this news anchor has to say about all this.
So crossing the wires, JOLTS comes in at 7.67 million. That is lighter than the estimates of 8.1 million, down from 8.2 million last month. And factory orders for July up 5. That is in line with estimates. That's going to be the lightest opening since January of 2021. And I know that's a number you like to watch.
Well, especially that $8 million openings mark on jobs, because back in April, we got below the 8 million, but since then it's kind of rebounded and hovered around that level. So we are now seeing more evidence that the labor market is cooling off. We're going to dive in just a little bit, look at some of the quit rates and hiring rates and show what's beneath the surface ahead of the jobs report on Friday.
This is what they're talking about. They're saying that all these job openings are actually actively looking for jobs. They're saying that these 8 millions are actively looking for something. Just because you put a job market out, just because you put a job posting up online doesn't actually mean that they're going to actually hire and not relist it. So what I've heard a lot of companies do, even from you guys, is that they actually just use those as marketing gimmicks and collect resumes and use that for advertisements. And they're maybe filling 1 or 2, or they're looking to fill those positions in 4 to 5 months. So just because there's 8 million job openings right now does not mean that they're actually looking for 8 million bodies to hire. They're actually just putting these out there to collect resumes, to do hiring, to trying to get the best person for the job. And if that one person comes along that checks all these boxes that they have for the lowest amount of pay, they might consider hiring him. And you guys been telling me all along that, hey, I've been in an interview process for 4 months, for 3 months, and then they just ghost me and they tell me I have the job, and then they just don't come back with the job offer. This is absolutely crazy. So let me know if you have a crazy story like that But yeah, we're in a very, very interesting time where all these people are going to not have a job till next year, because right now we're going into fall season and holidays are going to come up, and all these companies that have PTO that says use it or lose it are going to have to take that time. So it's going to make scheduling interviews harder, it's going to make hiring harder. So with all these holidays also coming up and these holiday festivities, hiring isn't going to be their top priority. Unless you're a seasonal worker that needs to stock retail, do something, there might be something in it for you. But if you're a tech worker, it's going to be very, very hard for you to get a job if you're going to wait a few weeks longer, because then you're into fall season and you know that hiring is going to be slow at the end of the year. So then next big opportunity is going to be in January. So you really, really got to get into high gear right now so you can actually get a job and not just wait it out till next year, because man, next year is going to be even more competitive because so many people are now going to get laid off. Their quarterly numbers are going to come in. They need to do some more job cuts till the end of the year before rates are going to come down. So you got to be proactive and search now to make sure you have a job over these holidays. And if you haven't connected me on LinkedIn, but yeah, it is absolutely brutal and absolutely certain that you need to take this opportunity before the holidays come to Job Search Network and get you situated in a new job before these holidays. Because when everything's in roll and the holidays are going to come up, and if you're not a company that does holiday specials where they do holidays hiring, then you're not going to be getting a job anytime soon. So make sure you start today and not procrastinate. But we're going to see these job numbers probably tick up a little bit to just to probably 4.5%, and we're going to see what the Fed is going to do, because all these numbers came in a lot softer than they think, and they've corrected it down. So I'm curious to hear from you guys. What do you think? But I'm just like, it can't be that these numbers are always coming in lower than expected. That means that the job market isn't that strong, and we're actually in a way weakening economy. And we don't have to come out and say that we're in a recession, because when all this stuff gets backward tracked with 800,000 jobs less created, that should be a warning signal that, hey, this is really bad. We're in a recession. But I bet you they're waiting for that word till the new president steps into office, and then they're going to start really laying the law down and says, yes, we've been in it for 6 months. We just couldn't say it. But hey, this is how it is. And they got to keep everything afloat. And now we got all this campaign money that's floating around. There's millions of dollars of campaign money. They're giving influencers tens of thousands of dollars to go to these events and make sure that, hey, vote for this person, vote for that person. And once election hits and that is done, then we're going to see the actual real numbers to starting to come out, because they don't need to hide that anymore. And we will see the actuality of the economy, and we're going to start seeing these networks actually saying, hey, we've been in it, and now we're going to see what's going to really, really, really happen, because you can only keep this facade up for so long till it's going to start crumbling down. And we're seeing that more and more people are getting really mad at how the situation is. And I am curious to see what's going to happen in October and November, to see where we're going to go and transition into the new year. Because once we're going to hit these numbers in fall, where it's going to be the new year, the president's in, and we're going to see what's going to happen, because they're not going to take office till January. They can start saying, hey, actually, the numbers are way, way worse. So let me know what you think. To showcase how dire the situation is with all these people, I'm going to show you guys a video of a woman that has actually been looking for a job for a year. So let's watch this and we'll see what she says.
Next month will be officially 1 year since I have been unemployed and got laid off from my agency job. I've networked with barely anybody responding back to me. I've interviewed, got to multiple last rounds. Always got the same feedback that they went with somebody with more experience, but I was a great candidate. I've applied to over 1,000 jobs. I've applied to even low-paying jobs. I've applied to internships. I don't know what else to do. I ask questions at the end of the interview. I get to know them. Like, I don't know what else they want from me.
So many people are in the same situation as that creator is. And I hear you guys in the comment section that you guys also been unemployed for a year and unemployment has run out a long time ago. So you are not in the statistics of unemployment. You're just saying that, hey, I don't have a job and I can't find one. And now we're going to see all these people that have salaries up here that were seniors, directors or whatever are going to go for director position. These directors are going to go for these positions and these positions are going to go for here, and they're all going to take pay cuts. And it's actually really, really bad for the economy when there's a move down. And you've seen this creator that said, hey, I've actually applied for intern positions. And I don't know what her knowledge is or how deep her understanding of her product that she's selling or what she's doing in the market. But when you're applying to intern positions, that is a very, very bad sign that actually nobody is hiring, especially if you have skills. So if you're a company and actually have skills and you don't want to hire somebody in an internship that actually can do a really good job doing something else, that should be a win because you can then extract more value out of it as an owner from a company. That's really, really key, right? You can get the most value out of somebody that does an internship rather than somebody that knows nothing that you got to teach, right? So this basically you're paying an intern for somebody that actually knows what they're doing. But we're seeing this a lot now that companies are just not giving anybody a chance because they cannot afford to do anything because they're so keen on the next quarter numbers and trying to stay afloat that they just can't do it. And this is no hate to this creator that, make this video and saying what's going on. It's not you. It's just that the companies cannot hire, and it is so bad in the market right now that all these people are just not making it. And so I hope you got a plan B, start a side hustle because you need to make money somehow because unemployment's just not going to do it for you. And you just got to keep at it. And once interest rates come down a little bit, once there's going to be more season openings, we will hopefully see a tick up in hiring, and hopefully you can get one of these jobs. But I've been hearing that a lot, that they're saying, I made it to the last round, and they said they're going with another candidate. They take the job listing down. A few weeks later, they relist the same job description, and you apply again, and you make it to the third round again, and then they say we went with somebody else again. So I don't know what these games are for, but hey, they're just playing the corporate game, and it has changed from 2 years ago. So this is just a job market that we're in. It is brutal out there. So I'm done for today. Let me know what you guys think about this whole jobness craziness, and like and subscribe if you like this video, and I will see you in the next one.